Normally, when we hear the term ranked number one or ranked at the top, we think of the best selling, the best tasting, the fastest, the strongest, the one with the highest average. But when it comes to Teachers Pay Teachers, that's not necessarily the case. Hello everyone, my name is Sherry from Rolling Acres Education. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time. And today we want to talk about ranking. And the reason I'm making this video is because I went back and rewatched some of my other videos and thought, wow, that was as clear as mud. And I think sometimes I worry so much about being boring that I don't go into enough detail. So we are going to really dig into what it means to be ranked, what kind of things you can do to get ranked, what things you can control, and what things you can only influence. And so what does it mean to be ranked on Teachers Pay Teachers? And of course that means that you are at the top of the page or on the first page. Where do you fall into a certain search result, okay? And it depends on what's typed in the search bar. You could be on page 100 of one search and page 1 of another. So ranking is just where do you fall in the results of a search. And of course we want to be on the first page and whenever possible at the very top. So what determines that? Is it the best-selling products that get ranked number one? Is it the ones with the highest ratings, the ones that sold the most units, the ones that made the most money? What determines what is at the top of a particular search? And the answer is you're there, or that product is there because the Teachers Pay Teachers algorithm gods have decided that's the one they want to put there. It's that simple. It's done by computer, that is directed by an algorithm. And so it's not necessarily the best selling or the highest rated, because if you go and do a search and you look down the side, you'll see that there are products that have no stars or a few stars that are ranked above products that have a lot of stars. Well, how can you make that happen for you? Okay? Well, obviously, the algorithm takes ratings and sales and all that kind of stuff into consideration, but it also takes in relevancy, okay? The more relevant a product is, the higher it's going to rank over products that aren't as relative. So this is where your title comes into play. How you title your resources. If you're making a Halloween resource for second graders that has some puzzles and some coloring in it, and it's no prep, you could name your product Halloween Activities. You could name it Halloween Coloring Activities. You could name it Halloween Puzzles. You could name it Halloween Puzzles for second grade. But if I was brand new, I would title that product something like Halloween Puzzles Coloring Activities for third grade, no prep. Okay, I put all that in the title, no punctuation. I know that's hard, but punctuation takes up your characters. And if you do third, fourth, fifth grade, and someone types in for third grade, you're still going to show up, okay? So you don't need to put all the punctuation and stuff in there. But you want to get as much into that title as possible while still being honest, okay? Don't make it sound like it's something that it's not. Now, that's something you can control. You can control your title. What is your title? And the more relevant it is, the more chance you have of showing up when someone types something in the search bar, okay? Talk more about that in a little bit. Then there are things you can't control. Your conversion rates and how recent your sales have been, okay? So let's talk a little bit about those. Those are things you can influence. So the best thing you can do to increase your chances of having high enough conversion rates to rank at the top is to make a quality product at a fair price that teachers need, okay? That's where you have to start, okay? Because conversion rates are based on being bought. That's overall. Your overall conversion rate is based on how many products you sold divided by how many people viewed them. Now here's the good news. If you're new, your conversion rates are probably higher because you don't have as many views. All right, so if you sell 5 products, but you've only had 10 views, that's 50% conversion rate. Whereas if you've had 100 views, it's a 5% conversion rate, okay? So being new can really help your conversion rates, because the less views you have, the higher your conversion rates are going to be as you start selling things. So if you have good conversion rates, Teachers Pay Teachers looks at that. And of course, we're talking about the computer. No one actually looks at all this. Looks at that conversion rate and says, wow, this person hasn't sold a lot of products, but the people that are looking at their products tend to buy them, so let's get more people looking at their products. So that just makes sense. If you have a higher conversion rate, Teachers Pay Teachers is going to push you to the top, because the more people that are viewing your product, the more people that are going to buy them. It's going to make you more money. It's going to make them more money. So you want to do everything you can to have a good quality product at a fair price that teachers need. That is the biggest thing you can do to influence your conversion rates, okay? Now, and that also has to do with recent sales. If you have good conversion rates and people are buying you give a new product out and people are like, oh, they haven't seen that before, and they're looking at it and buying it, then you're going to rank higher than someone who hasn't sold a product in a while, okay? So the things that help new sellers are relevancy, okay? It's going to be a small search. We're going to talk about that, and that's fine, okay? Be relevant. The more specific you are, there are people that are going to type in more specific things. Some people might just go and type in Halloween activities, but maybe they really want puzzles, so they're going to type in Halloween puzzles for whatever, and you're going to have puzzles in there, and maybe they want coloring. Maybe they want Halloween puzzles and coloring for whatever grade, okay? Are most people going to type that in? No, but some people will. And that's all you need to get started, is some people finding your product. So make your product as relevant as it can by being as specific as you can. And as you start to sell, you'll move up in those less specific searches, okay? Make a good quality product for the price, and make it something that teachers are looking for, and hopefully there's not a lot of other ones out there, okay? Now, those are the things that you can control. You can't control how many other people are making products. You can't control what people are typing in the search bar. But if you're making good quality resources for the price, teachers are looking for them, and you're being specific, you're probably going to rank somewhere. Now, do small search results mean nobody's looking for that product? No, it does not. Search results have to do with how many people are making that product, not how many people are looking for that product. Now, teachers and people are smart, and they can figure out what people are really looking for. And yes, if there's fewer search results, then probably not as many people are looking at as for some other products, but there's still probably plenty of people looking for that product. Let me give you an example. I'm going to be a little more specific than I was in other videos. I had a resource, Cinco de Mayo activities for high school. Now, that's what I wanted to show up for, that for high school or for middle school. My title was Cinco de Mayo activities, middle, high school, sub, and independent work, okay, or something like that. But I wanted to show up in the, Cinco de Mayo activities for high school, and I did, but the search results were only 190 something with no other filters, just that title and no filters. And I was a little discouraged. I thought, well, that probably nobody's making these because nobody's looking for them. Well, that ended up being my third best selling product. I had something, now this is just in a period of a couple weeks. Remember, seasonal resources, you're not going to get a lot of views each year, especially not your first year, because there's only a certain period of time everybody's looking at that. So I got over 300 views on that product, and I sold 80 and made like $179 or something like that. So I was thrilled with that. I thought that was fantastic. So don't be discouraged because you're showing up in a smaller search. Listen, if you rank at the top of a smaller search, and let's say only 30 people a month are typing in that search, and you're showing up number one, every single person who types in that title, that search title, is going to find you. Every one of them. And if you've got a good cover, they're probably going to click on it because it's right there in front of them. If you have a good product, they're probably going to purchase it, especially if it's at a fair price. So there's no reason to get discouraged over these smaller searches because that's going to improve your conversion rate. And let me tell you something else. Your overall store conversion rate affects your products. When I listed recently a Labor Day activity for high school, I went straight to the top of the search because my overall conversion rates are good. So Teachers Pay Teachers is like, okay, all her other products have been selling well. We're going to assume that this one will sell well too, so we're going to go ahead and stick it up at the top. Now, it's a small search. Not very many people make Labor Day activities for high school. It's not a huge search result, but I don't care because every single person that does happen to look for it is going to find me. Don't stress over the numbers. Just do your best, do what you're supposed to do, and let everything else happen. One last disclaimer. They have changed the search bar, okay? And I really stressed over this because if you go to the search bar and type in whatever my holiday resource is, and don't put for and then the grade level and then use the filters to do all that, I don't rank as high. And that really stressed me out at first. Of course, my coach Lauren always tells us, just calm down, everything's going to work out, and you always find a way to get around all this. Well, here's the thing. Old-timers are probably just going to go ahead and type in what they've been typing in because it's a lot easier to type in Cinco de Mayo activities for high school and click search than to type in Cinco de Mayo activities, holiday resources, 10th grade, and blah, blah. A lot of people who have used Teachers Pay Teachers for a long time, you do not have to use the filters. You can just type in blah, 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 and hit search. So all these things play into it. You just have to do the best you can. Number one, make a good quality resource for the price that teachers need. Give it a good specific title that's going to be relevant in a certain search, and just keep putting them out and putting them out and putting them out, and this will all work out for you. Just work hard, study about algorithms. There are other things, and some of them I'm not going to share because some people say these do, some people say they don't. You just have to make your own decision. Me, if they say it does and it's no problem to do it, then I do it, of course. So just remember, you've got this, God's got you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.